What's up, guys? Saigan here. Would like to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Final Fantasy III. Well, 6. This came out on the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom a long time ago. It was made by a company called Squaresoft. Back then, Squaresoft was filled with amazing ideas and a lot of integrity, and they were really, really focused on making great games. Fast forward to, I want to say about 10 years ago. It was around a decade ago. Squaresoft and Enix merged together because they felt that it would strengthen both companies. Get really good development teams from both sides working together. Enix was well known not only for Dragon Quest, but also for, I want to say, Valkyrie Profile or Xenosaga, maybe both. One of those definitely was. Star Ocean, Enix had been around for a while as well. So you got these two amazing companies now working together, and everybody was pretty excited. It was shortly after Final Fantasy X came out. Everybody's kind of riding high on it, looking forward to what they could do. And for a while there, they were doing some really, really cool work. 3 years ago, they released Final Fantasy Type 0 for the PSP. And the Final Fantasy fans went through what the Dragon Quest fans have been going through. And that's, are we going to get it? Are we not going to get it? How long is it going to be? We never get news of a PSP localization announcement. 2.5 years later, Sky, over at Sky's ROM Hacking Nest, and probably a team of translators working with him, release a patch for Final Fantasy Type 0 for the PSP, so that English speakers who have purchased the Japanese game, it's intended for those who actually own the game. They don't actually distribute ISOs or ROMs or anything. They release a translation patch so that the game is readable and that the story is enjoyable to those who speak English. This happens a couple of days before E3 it comes out. E3 happens. Square Enix now finally says, guys, we're going to give you what you want. We've been listening to you complain about it for 2.5 years, and we've decided that 2.5 years is enough complaining, and we're going to give you Final Fantasy Type 0. And everybody was like, it's about goddamn time. Great. Well, there's a fan translation out, but I'll be sure to buy the game anyways. We're going to release it for the PS3. And everyone went, but, like, this game is one of the reasons why I bought my PSP. And they said, PS3. Why can't we have the PSP version? PS3. Okay, well, I'll just play the fan translation. Guess what happened today? SkybladeCloud.net. It's a hell of a name, dude. The website for Sky, that hacker translator who made this translation possible, as well as whoever was working with him. I'm assuming he didn't do it by himself. Translation projects are huge, huge, huge freaking projects. He had to shut it down. After it was finished, months after it was finished, he's had to shut it down because of Square Enix. Reportedly, also, he didn't just get a cease and desist. That information is already out there. The translation patch is out on the internet. You can't come in as a company 3 months later and be like, internet, no! you have to take this down. Well, the original guy who did it, Sky, is like, okay, I'll take it down. It's not on his site anymore. That doesn't mean that it's gone. Word is, he's actually getting taken to court. That's what I'm hearing. Which is the biggest bunch of bullshit. And I have to say, like, right here and now, if Square Enix takes a fucking fan subber to court over a game they refused to localize for 2.5 years, that's worse than anything that they did on YouTube. That's worse than taking down Dragon Quest X videos in America. That's way worse. Now they're actually taking legal action against their fans who wanted nothing more than to play a game that they weren't giving us. We'll see how it pans out. Again, no solid word yet. We know that Square Enix has said something and he's had to take things down, and people who say they know the guy are saying that it's worse than a cease and desist, which leaves lawsuit. So we're going to have to wait and see. If Square Enix does take this guy to court, like, this is going to be the first time that I'm actually just going to flat out say, stop giving Square Enix money. Period. Flat out. Because this is how they treat their fans. This is how they treat the people who, after 2.5 years of waiting, took matters into their own hand to make something playable. After they said for 2.5 years, no, you can't have it. Who else is this going to happen to? What other fan translation projects? There's still Dragon Quest translation projects in the work, as well as other things. Why are they treating people like this? Because they're a giant international money-snatching company, and it's shit. If it was just a cease and desist, I'd be like, okay, lawyers are being lawyers. But to take him to court instead of simply a cease and desist? A company like that is not worthy of the fans that they have. And I really, really, really hope that this information is incorrect. Links below.